Hi, welcome to Traveling 2. I'm Lucy, this is Tim. Today you're going to see part 2 of our 1-month trip to Kotor, Montenegro.
Part 2 here really covers some more of the touristy things that you do when you take a trip to Kotor. Part 1 was just pretty much Old Town and kind of a little bit of life for us there. This one we get into a little more detail in our trip. Also though, at the end of the video, we're going to go over a few tips or a few things to point out that might be helpful for a trip for you.
Including if you have to go to the hospital.
Just gave it away. Anyway, stay through the whole thing and like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That helps our channel grow, and we'll get going.
Come on, just rock, don't stop. Just rock, don't stop.
All right, so today we are going out on a boat tour to the Blue Cave and the Lady of the Rock. So we're just waiting for them to get everything situated. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's 8:30 in the morning. We leave at 9 a.m.
Yes.
For a 3-hour tour. Ooh.
Sounds like a Gilligan's Island episode. Anyway, the boat tour for us is 35 euros per person. And I think water is supposed to be provided. So we'll take you along on the boat tour and we'll give you our review once we're done. This here is Our Lady of the Rock, and no, not Lucy. Talking about the church. And
That's a very interesting story.
This island is a man-made island that was built over the course of 200 years. As sailors would come by, they would drop a rock here because there was somebody had a vision of
Virgin Mary.
Mm-hmm. And so ever since then they started dropping rocks, and eventually it built up the island and they put a church on it. So kind of cool. And then at the island over there, that's an island for boat captains basically. There's like 72 boat captains buried inside the church, and then another 20 some that are buried on the land there as well. I think there's a total of 3 different submarine bases in here that are all interconnected by tunnels underneath the island. I don't know if it's an island. Could be mainland. You know, I don't do my fact checking very well.
What did you say? Did you say?
I don't know, I forgot.
So the submarine tunnels that you see right here are actually not in a James Bond film as far as we could tell. If you could find information that counters that, please let us know in the comments below, because the boat tour operators advertise it as James Bond submarine tunnel, but we can't really find that information.
This old island prison has been converted into a 5-star resort.
So it looks like as we approach the Blue Cave, might have a little bit of a traffic jam here. We might have to wait a little bit. The water here is so blue already. I don't know if it shows as well on camera as it does live. It looks really good.
This is really rare.
This is the perfect timing, huh?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Right? There's Lucy coming in.
Swimming in the blue cave.
What an experience. Water's so clear. You can see down so deep.
Yeah, just don't get the banana.
So one of the things about the boat tour, we got upgraded. There was a little bit of mix-up, so we got a 4-hour tour instead of a 3-hour tour. And on the 4-hour tour, they stop at this Maslina beach. So we get to hang out at this beach area.
For 1 hour.
One thing, I think we were pretty lucky to be able to swim in the Blue Cave,
That was fun.
because we've looked online and they said swimming is not allowed in the Blue Cave, but our boat captain stopped the boat. He's like, yeah, you guys want to go in? Go in. So we did, and I think that's pretty lucky. Now we're going to take a little swim here on this beach. The water is so clear. Like, you can see these little fish right here. Like, they look like they're just floating in air. Sort of little bar at this little beach area that we stopped from our Blue Cave tour, and the bartender gave me a hard time because I ordered a non-alcoholic beer. Said it was okay for the woman, but it wasn't good enough for me. Not good enough for a man. No respect. So we just got off of our
4-hour cruise.
4-hour cruise,
Bonus hour.
and now we have to get back to our scooter. But if you look across the street right there, a lot of people walking. That's where the scooter parking is. But people here drive like crazy, so you can't really cross the street real well because you take your life in your own hands. So they have a little tunnel here to get from one side of the street to the other, and it's crazy because all the boat operators are down here and they're all trying to get you to buy a tour.
You just wanted to go to bed.
And here we are.
To the other side of the street.
Very quickly and safely.
So we'll give you a little bonus footage here. We're going to show you how bad the traffic is downtown Kotor going back to our Airbnb.
So that's Old Town, the main entrance, and this is the scooter parking. They have, people don't follow that, of course. So, first challenge is making a left right here.
scooter.
How many?
4.
4 kids in that scooter. So, looks like there's a chance. There's the market, right outside of Old Town. And the line of traffic starts. It's non-stop. It's a scooter to your right. I freak out a bit. There's a really good barbecue place, Barbecue Kanja.
So what has quickly turned into our favorite barbecue joint ever. We got this huge chicken sandwich with a bunch of fixins, and then this one is a sausage sandwich with all the fixins. And these 2 sandwiches total 10 euros. And we have a museum that's dedicated to the history of Perast right here. And then right across from Perast, out in the distance, you can see Our Lady of the Rocks.
If you're ever in Kotor in Montenegro and you get the opportunity to go to Perast, highly recommend it. Lovely little town. However, no cars are allowed. There's parking before you go into town. If you have a scooter like us, it's free, very easy. Otherwise, just take some public transportation.
Good call.
We stopped at the Pirate Bar because it's going to be my new tradition that every time there's a Pirate Bar, we're going to stop and have a drink. And
We get to have a swim in this
we
one.
got to have a swim in this one. So my back has been giving me a hard time, getting worse again. So I'm back to the hospital. Went here yesterday, got a few shots, got some prescription meds, and I had to return for 3 more days worth of shots to try and help get this nerve pain under control. Not my idea of a good time, but here it is. All right, so this is probably our last video clip from
Kotor, Montenegro.
Thank you. A little brain fart there. The place here is beautiful. This is our beach area that we've been coming to pretty much every day. Do a little bit of a swim.
Semi-private. There's very few people here, so that's nice.
So, just one last adios. We gotta go turn in our motorbike. We have to get our food because we're taking a bus to Albania tomorrow. So we have to have food on the bus. And that's gonna be it. So, any last words for Montenegro before we go?
It is beautiful.
This is
Very
pristine.
beautiful and very different.
See you in Albania. All right, so joining me right now is Yvonne. This is the owner of the
Freedom Rental Moto company, Montenegro. We work in Kotor, Tivat and in Budva. So if you come anytime in Montenegro, visit this place. If you want to be free of the traffic, and if you really want to enjoy Montenegro coast, call us and we'll help you in any way.
I can personally attest to it. See him. He'll give you a good deal on a scooter. We rented it for the entire month. It got us around town. You'll see all the video, or you have seen all the video of all the traffic here in Kotor. It is a pain. The scooter is the only way to go. So go see Yvonne, and I'll put a link to his site down below, so so you can have easy direct access to him, and I'll include WhatsApp number for him.
Thank you very much. Bye bye, guys.
So our last few tips here, as you saw, I was sent to the hospital, had to go to the hospital. A couple things we learned while I was in the hospital need to be brought to you just in case. And it might be, I think it is actually good advice regardless.
The first one, we thought it was obvious, but we found some people in the hospital that did not take their medications with them on their carry-on. They checked it in, of course, as it can happen, luggage never made it, so they were without their medications and had to go to the hospital to get new ones.
So definitely something to think about. The second thing, when we got to the hospital, they wanted my passport. I did not carry my passport around with me everywhere I went. They would not see me without having my passport. So I actually had to turn around, go back to our apartment, get my passport, and bring it back. They would not accept a copy of or a photograph of my passport, which I did have. And it's just so happened that the person who left their medications in their check-in also needed to, when he got there, had to turn around and go back and get his passport as well. So make sure.
Take your passport if you ever have to go get some medical attention in a hospital.
Yes. Another problem that we encountered while we were in Kotor was Lucy has an iPhone that requires a SIM card, electronic SIM card. And nobody sells tourists eSIM cards in Kotor. There's a T-Mobile store there, and they have 5G, and they have the same iPhone that Lucy has, but they won't sell tourist eSIM card. So, everybody tells you it's not available. However, we found that there are a couple options. One is Airlo, is what Lucy ended up going with. However, we also found that MTEL, if you go to MTEL's website, that's Montenegro telephone company, whatever, it's their cellular provider, they do sell eSIM cards online. So you can buy it online, download it, you get the scan on your little, what's their little square called?
QR code?
QR code. You get the little QR code and you get your eSIM that way. And it was actually much cheaper, I think, than to do the Airlo thing. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You're not, if you're on an iPhone 14 or higher, you're going to need to do something about your data plan.
And that goes for the entire country of Montenegro, not just Kotor.
Right. One of the other things that we encountered in Montenegro was that outside of the tourist area, I mean, outside of Old Town, not dealing with boat operators, I'll be honest, I found that we were treated pretty poorly. The people...
They weren't very friendly.
Yeah, to say the least, yeah. They weren't a friendly lot. Like, you'd say thank you in the grocery store or something like that, and the clerks, they wouldn't even recognize you. They grunt, you know, or not even recognize you at all. Be ready for it. In the tourist area, the tourist quarter, everybody, the wait staff, the hostesses, everybody was friendly. But outside of that, if you're going to go slow live there or slow travel there, something like we did, just be prepared for them not to be quite the friendly people. My experience only. I might get some haters on here, and I'm sorry if that's the case. Not everybody was like that. There are plenty of people that were friendly, like I said, just outside of the tourist areas. Other than that, should we wrap it up? So we already did the whole like us thing. We're going to Albania. Actually, we're in Albania. That's where we're filming this from. That's where we're doing our next video from. So make sure you come back and watch the next one.
The next one is actually our cost of living in Montenegro.
Oh, that's right. I'm wrong. Anyway, see, never say it's on tape. I admit it, even on tape.
Stay tuned for our next video where we break down our cost of living expenses for 1 month in Kotor, Montenegro.
Until then, peace
Love,
and travel on.
hasta luego.